All right, here we go with 6th grade Excel, lesson number 50, determining factors, prime numbers, composite numbers, and prime factors. We got a lot to learn today, so we're going to get cooking right now. Here we go. A factor is a number multiplied by another number in order to compute a product. Factors of 8 are 2 times 4, 1 times 8, because 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 times 8 is 8. For each number, list the factors and then write the equations that verify your answer. What are the factors of 6? And just to make sure you understand this, factors are numbers that can be divided evenly into that number right there. So I can divide 6 by 1, I can divide 6 by 6, I can divide 6 by 2, and I can divide 6 by 3. What about 4? Can you divide 6 by 4 evenly? No, you can't. And so 1, 6, 2, and 3 are the only whole number factors of the number 6. And they proved it right down here by doing 1 times 6 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. Well, what are the factors of 7? The way I want you to do this, I don't like the way that they've done this here. I want your numbers to end up in order from smallest to largest. So what we're going to do is every time you see a factor problem, you're going to put the number 1 here, and you're going to put the number that you're finding the factors of way over here, making kind of like a I don't know, like a bookshelf here. You got bookends, one on each end. And then I think 1 times 7 is 7, right? Okay, then I'm going to start on the lowest number down here, in this case being a 2, the next number, and I'm going to think, does 2 go into 7? Is 7 an even number? Can you divide it by 2? No. What about 3? Does 3 go into 7? No. 4? No. Once you pass the halfway point, which halfway between 1 and 7 would be right between 3 and 4, once you pass that, there's no point in going any further. And so 1 and 7 are the only factors of 7. So we write 1 times 7 equals 7. We've got that big gap in there, but that's okay. What are the factors of 4? Try this with me. Put a 1 here, put a 4 here, and you should have done this one as well, number 2. All right, smallest and biggest, leave some space in the middle, put a comma, and then the next number after 1 is 2. Does 2 go into 4? Yes, it does. 2 times 2 is 4. So we could write a 2 here and a 2 here. Now, these two numbers are the exact same number, so we don't write them twice. We only put one of each number that can be divided into that number. Why say that the number 4 can be divided by 2 and it can be divided by 2? Well, you already told me that, so we don't need to list it twice. And once the numbers come together, we're kind of doing this smashing routine here. Once the numbers in the list smash into each other, the factor list is done. We're through with that. So we go 1 times 4, and we don't even have to write the answer. We'll just write, and 2 times 2. Good enough. Go ahead and put that on your paper. And then I want you to try number 4 on your own. Pause the video, and then turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. Alrighty, here we go. So 1 and 15. Does 2 go into 15? No, it doesn't, because 15 is not even. How about 3? Well, yes, 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, we've almost smashed together because look, 3 and 5, the only number in between 3 and 5 is a 4. Does 4 go into 15? No, it doesn't. So I have 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. And that's my solution for number 4. That's it. All right, here are some other problems for you to try. 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'd like you to do all 4 of these. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. Factors of 12. 1 and 12, we always start like that. Remember, give a big spread so you have plenty of room. Then I'm always starting on the low number when I'm checking, guessing and checking here. Does 2 go into 12? Well, yes, it does, because 12 is even. 2 times 6, right? Each number is going to have a partner on the other end. 2 times 6 is 12. How about 3? Does 3 go into 12? Well, yes, it does. 3 times 4 is 12. Oh, look, 3 and 4, they just smashed into each other. There's no numbers in between, so that's my complete list. And then you're going to write 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. That's all the multiplication problems that can make 12. But remember, we're finding the numbers that you can divide 12 by evenly. You can divide 12 by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, by 6, and of course you can divide 12 by 12. Okay, 18, right, 1 and 18. 18 is even, so 2 times 9 is 18. 3 does go into 18 as well, because 3 times 6 is 18. Now we're almost smashed together. We have a 3 and a 6. With the only numbers in between 3 and 6 are 4 and 5. Does 4 go into 18? No. Does 5 go into 18? No. So you have 1 times 18 2 times 9, and 3 times 6. How many factors does, oh, this says how many factors. Well, if you wrote the answer, that's great, but really what I want you to be able to do is find the factors. So 1 times 21, and does 2 go into 21? No, it's not even. How about 3? Oh yeah, 3 times 7. The only numbers between 3 and 7 before we smash together are going to be 4, 5, and 6. None of those numbers go into 21, so the factors of 21 are 1 times 21 and 3 times 7. If they say how many factors it has, 4 factors. If you didn't write that on your paper yet, don't stress out about it. That's fine. And number 8, how many factors does 24 have? Same thing here. This is going to have quite a few. 1 times 24. How about 2? Does 2 go into 24? Yes. 2 times 12. How about 3? Oh yeah, 3 times 8. I don't know if you caught that one. Does 4 go into 24? Yes, it does. 4 times 6. The only number between 4 and 6 that we haven't tried yet is 5. 5 does not go into 24, and so these are all the factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 6 times 4. How many factors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 factors. And again, not that important that you wrote that. It's pretty easy to count numbers. All right, a prime number is a number that has only 2 whole numbers as its factor, 1 and itself. 2 is a prime number, but 1 is not because 1 has only 1 whole number as a factor. 1 times 1 is 1. There's only 1 factor of the number 1, so it's not considered to be a prime number. A composite number is the opposite. It's a number that has more than 2 factors. 8 is a composite number, 12 is a composite number, and 20 are composite numbers. What are the prime numbers that are less than 20? Let me show you how to do this. Go ahead and write a 1 here, and then, well, we don't want 1 because 1's not a prime number, right? How about 2? Yes, 2's a prime number because 1 times 2, that's it. Those are the only factors. Is 3 a prime number? Yes, because 1 times 3, that's it. There are no more multiplication problems that make 3 besides 1 times 3. Is 4 a prime number? Let's see, 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. So no, that's not a prime number. How about 5? 1 times 5 is 5. That's it. There's no other problem. So what we're looking for are the numbers that only have 1 times themselves as the factors. How about 6? Well, 1 times 6 is 6, but 2 times 3 is also 6. So we're not going to put 6 in this list of prime numbers. How about 7? 1 times 7 is 7, and that's it. There's no other multiplication problem that equals 7. Another way of saying it is that there are no other factors of 7 besides 1 in itself, or you can't divide 7 by any numbers besides 1 and 7. Okay, I'd like you to complete this list all the way up to 20 of all the prime numbers. Pause the video and then turn it back on when you see the solution, or when you're ready to see the solution. All right, the other numbers that you should have put in this list, 8 is not a prime number because 2 times 4 is 8. 9 is an odd number, and you can see that there's a pattern of odd numbers, but 9 is not a prime number because 3 times 3 is 9. 10, 2 times 5 is 10, so that doesn't work. 11 is a prime number because only 1 times 11 is 11. 12, that has a lot of factors besides 1 times 12. 13, prime number. 14, no, that's even. 15, can't put that on the list because 3 times 5 is 15. 16 is even. 17, only 1 times 17 is 17. 18, 2 times 9, it has other factors. What about 19? Well, 1 times 19, that's it. It makes 19, so that's a prime number, and obviously 20 is a composite number. 2 is the only even number that is a prime number. Why can any even number greater than 2 never be a prime number? Pause the video, answer that question right here, and then turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. Well, because they all can be divided by what? They can be divided by 2, or they have the factor of 2. What do you know about any number that has a 5 in the ones place? Pause the video, see if you can write that solution right here, and then turn the video back on. Any number that has a 5 in the ones place, it can be divided by 5, right? Can be divided by 5. All right, one last idea before we finish up this lesson, and that's prime factorization. What you're going to do for this is you're going to take a number and you're going to break it down into its prime numbers that can be multiplied together to equal that number. A prime factor is a factor that is also a prime number. 2 is a prime factor of 8, but 4 is not. By using a factor tree, that's what this is, you can determine the prime factors of a number. For each problem, build a factor tree and identify the prime factors. Now, you're going to start getting confused as you see these problems because they're going to say, what are the factors of this number? And then they're also going to ask you, what are the prime factors of this number? And I have a little way for you to remember the difference. When you see factors, I want you to just do the regular factoring, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, where you smash the numbers into each other. But when you see prime factors, prime starts with the letter P. And P is what dogs like to do on a tree. And so P on the tree, for dogs peeing on the tree, is how you're going to remember that you make a tree for these types of problems. So I'm going to show you how this first one's done, even though it's done on your page there. What are the prime factors of 20? Pick any two numbers that equal to 20 when you multiply them. 5 times 4. Then you're going to break down either one of these numbers into its prime factors. Well, 5 is already a prime number. So that's going to go in your answer blank. But what about 4? Can I break 4 down into two numbers? Never allowed to use the number 1 when you do this. We're never going to do a 1. Because 1 is not considered to be a prime number. 4 can be broken down into 2 times 2. 2 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number. So you can see written over here we have a 5, a 2, and a 2. The answer to the prime factors of 20 is 2, 5, and 2. How about the prime factors of 8? You can break 8 down into 4 times 2. 2 is a prime number, so it goes on the answer blank. 4 can be broken down into 2 times 2. And so now we have 2 other 2's that go over here. And you can check this by doing 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And that's what that number right here is. Okay, let's do number 11 together. Take the number 12. Remember, we're making a tree underneath the 12 because prime factors, P on the tree. What times what is 12? Let's do this together. How about 6 times 2? We could also do 4 times 3, but we'll just do 6 times 2. Is 6 a prime number? Well, no, it's not, because we can do 3 times 2 is 6. Is 3 a prime number? Yes, it is. Is 2 a prime number? Yes, it is. Is this 2 a prime number up here? Yes. And so we're going to list the numbers 3, 2, and 2. Now, let's check it. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. That works. So that's the answer. All right, pause the video, do number 12 by yourself, and turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. Okay, you should have written an 18 over here, prime factorization, P on the tree, and then you're going to write down what two numbers multiply together to make 18. You could have done 6 times 3, or some of you might have done 9 times 2. I'm going to do the 6 times 3 way. 3 is a prime number, so 3 is going to go on your answer blank. But I can break the 6 down into 2 times 3. Both of these are prime numbers, and so we have to list those over here. Make sure you put commas in between your numbers so you're not writing the answer 323 or 233. The order of your numbers doesn't matter. You can put 323 or 233 or 332. Makes absolutely no difference. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.